Most people think that they got AI figured out because they get a decent answer from ChatGPT. And while that was enough 6 months ago, not anymore. The next major shift that you got to understand is AI agents. The gap between people who understand them and who don't is about to get pretty expensive. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how they work, how to use them, and how to start before everybody else catches up. And so let me start with this. An AI prompt and an AI agent are completely different, but a lot of us are still stuck on old habits. And so let me give you the simplest way to think about this right off the bat. I call it the SDR rule. Before you hand a job over to an agent, it has to pass this 3-part test. The S stands for solo. Can the AI do this job by itself without you holding its hand the entire time? The D stands for daily. Is this a repetitive chore that happens over and over again? Last, is it reviewable? So can you look at the final work and grade it within 10 seconds to see if it passed or failed? If the task can be ran solo, it happens daily, and you can easily review it, then you give it to an agent. If it only happens once, or needs deep human feelings, then you keep it on your own plate. Now, here's the thing. The internet gave us search, and so we started Googling. AI gave us large language models. Most people still treat AI like a glorified search engine. And now the agents are here, we're making the same mistake again by treating them like advanced chatbots, and they're not. A chatbot waits for your next prompt. An agent figures out your next move. Think of it like this, like prompting a chatbot is like sitting next to a student driver. You consistently have to guide them, correct them, and stay completely alert. Deploying an agent is like hiring a professional driver. You set the destination, hand over the keys, and you sit in the back seat. The agent handles the route, the traffic, and all the step-by-step decisions. Let's do it like this, right? Here's a basic prompt. Write me a LinkedIn post. Here is an AI agent. Watch my industry every Monday morning, find the 3 most relevant stories, study my previous post to mimic my exact tone, draft a new post based on those updates, revise it against my style guidelines, and automatically schedule it for next Tuesday morning. See the difference? Everybody's trying to talk about agents and AI. Almost nobody can tell you what's going on under the hood. I'm gonna break it down for you. So a chatbot predicts the next word based on math. An agent decides the next logical course of action. The agent uses a language model at its center, but it surrounds that model with a 4-person crew. You got the scout, the captain, the closer, and the manager. Now let me break down the difference between their roles. So the scout is the worker that digs through the messy data, looks at the field, it finds the patterns. The captain is the worker that calls the plays, it decides the best strategy and makes the game plan. The closer, this worker does all the heavy lifting, it writes the code, it sends the emails, it makes the moves. And you got the manager, it checks the quality, inspects the closer's work for sloppy mistakes before anybody else sees it. Now imagine telling an agent to review the past week's customer support logs, sales notes, and product feedback every Monday at 7 a.m. And you wanted to identify the 3 biggest reoccurring issues, summarize what changed, and email your leadership team a 1-page brief. The agent reads the messy data, it finds the patterns, that's the scout. It decides what matters most for the leadership team, that's the captain. It drafts and transmits the update, the closer. Then it reviews the text to make sure it meets your professional standards before sending it off to your team, that is the manager. And by the time you open up your laptop on Monday morning, the report is already sitting in your inbox. You didn't write it, you didn't analyze it, you just assigned the job of 4 people to 1 agent. Now, the defining feature of a true agent is the ability to adapt when things go wrong. And this is what separates an agent from standard automation. Think of it like a concept from sports in the streets, right? Where you got the pivot play, right? When the obvious path gets blocked, can the AI think on its feet? Standard automation is obedient but rigid. If you build a workflow to check grocery prices every Friday, build a list, place an order, it'll work perfectly until your usual item is out of stock. Then the workflow breaks. It hits a wall, crashes because it only knows how to follow a script. An agent uses the pivot play. It spots the block. If it sees that its usual path is closed, it reads the floor, looks at the options around it, changes the call, picks a new direction, and then runs the play, all without crashing. It's like the agent sees what the item that's missing, it recognizes the blockage, it finds a valid substitute, it adjusts, and then rebuilds the entire order on the fly. A workflow follows a process, an agent reroutes it entirely. When someone tells you they build an agent, you gotta ask them one question, right? When the first path breaks, does it keep following the script or can it run a pivot play? See, now the most dangerous thing about an AI agent is that they will do the wrong things faster and with more confidence than you ever could. The agent isn't magic. It is a multiplier. An agent is just a mirror that reflects and amplifies the qualities of your own thinking. If you give an agent vague goals, sloppy directions, and zero feedback loops, it will drive your corporate strategy straight into a brick wall. Agent doesn't fix bad processes, it formalizes them. And so before you automate a single task, run a GTM check, like the goal, can you explain exactly what you want to achieve in one clear, simple sentence? Do you know exactly what a perfect score looks like so that you can tell the AI agent that they got it right? And can you draw the exact step-by-step directions for the task without any guessing? Unless you can do those three things, your agent will not make a difference. Most companies want AI everywhere all at once. The organizations that are actually winning are the ones being obsessively narrow. And so when you find a highly specific, painful task that people hate doing repeatedly, that is where the money is.